Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Bank Employees News. Latest update is coming. Panel was examining regulations framed by UCO Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of Maharashtra and Bank of India under Section 19 of the Banking, Acquisition and Transfer of Undertakings Act 1970. The Subordinate Legislation Committee of the Parliament, which examines whether the rules and regulations drafted by executive is in tune with the acts passed, has decided to study the merger of certain public sector banks and bank recapitalization scheme of the center. The committee will see if the regulations and rules framed for both the purposes and in tandem with the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer of Undertakings Act 1970 and Nationalized Banks Management and Miscellaneous Provisions Scheme of 1970. The matter came up for discussion on Wednesday when the panel was examining regulations framed by UCO Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of Maharashtra and Bank of India under Section 19 of Banking Act 1970. The members in the panel asked the representatives from the Department of Financial Services to furnish details of the merger and recapitalization schemes too before the panel and before the parliament. A member in the panel told the business line on the condition of anonymity that they asked the center about the status of regulations framed by each of the banks mentioned in the agenda item under Section 19 of the Banking Companies Act 1970 and asked the directors to lay all the regulations on the table of Lok Sabha. We asked them about the reports that Niti Aayog has recommended some of these banks are up for sale. We didn't get a proper answer. We have asked the officials to submit the details before our next meeting scheduled on July 12, a member from the opposition camp said. In the meeting, the members also sought whether UCO Bank, Indian Overseas Bank and Bank of Maharashtra and Bank of India have framed regulations prescribing the legal framework for ensuring the safety of computerized data by subsection 2G of Section 3 of the Act. There were discussions about the recapitalization scheme and non-performing assets too. We asked whether the procedure for raising the capital by board of directors of each of the banks concerned as prescribed by clause C of subsection 2B of section 2 of the act has been prescribed. If so, what are their salient features? The member asked. The members also observed that the pension fund regulations of banks do not make detailed provisions relating to function of the trusts such as qualifications of trustees, procedure of decision making, etc. The members asked the banks to provide inputs on the infirmities observed. The members also demanded the details of the capital structure of each of the banks concerned. We asked whether capital is adequate to meet their liabilities, whether the paid-up capital of each of the respective banks has ever lost. If so, whether the same has ever been reduced, the member said. The member added that the mergers and proposal to disinvest public sector banks go against the banking nationalization scheme and it should not be done with the approval of parliament.